On the 21st of August in 2022, we in Palestine launched a strategic dialogue with the intention of mobilizing African countries to support Palestine and to enhance bilateral relations with Palestine on the continent. The other objective was to exchange views based on the South African experience that will assist to end Israeli domination in Palestinian territories, as well as to support Palestine in raising international awareness on the plight of their people, particularly the expansion of illegal settlements by Israel. As South Africa, we actively lobbied for the withdrawal of Israel as an observer member of the African Union. And we will continue our efforts towards support for a two-state solution and the right to self-determination. And I must, in talking about the AU battle that we have to wage, I must thank Namibia and Algeria for their support. It was very lonely, but we did it. We will also, as South Africa, continue to support Palestinian efforts for membership of the United Nations and the creation of positive, credible, and lasting international mechanisms to address the Palestinian cause based on international law. I hope all of you present here who come from many different countries have written to your foreign ministers to ask them how they voted on the resolution on membership of the United Nations for Palestine. And to also tell them you expect that when that resolution comes to the General Assembly, they will vote yes for membership. Write to your foreign ministers. Find out how they are acting in the halls where it matters. The activism you have committed to by being present here means that you are aware of everything, means that you write on everything, means that you petition on everything. You do not secure victory by sitting in a conference room. You secure victory by action, and we expect that of you. We support all calls for action against Israel's settler colonial apartheid regime, including calls that third states must take steps toward completely decolonizing Palestine. This has to involve the dismantling of all structures of domination, exploitation, and oppression, and the realization of the rights of Palestinian people, rights of freedom and democracy that all of us love and enjoy so much. We also would want that they should be able to return to their homes, have their lands once more, and have their properties returned to them. Third states need to recognize and condemn, including through regional and international organizations, Israel's discriminatory laws, policies, and practices which have cumulatively established and continue to maintain an apartheid regime of systemic racial oppression and domination over the Palestinian people. Member states of the UN General Assembly should adopt a resolution, in our view, to reconstitute the United Nations Special Committee Against Apartheid and re-establish the United Nations Center Against Apartheid to address Israeli authorities' commission of crimes against humanity, against the Palestinian people, and to empower these bodies to proactively pursue the dismantlement of Israel's settler colonial apartheid regime. We would also like to see the Office of the Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court expedite the current investigation into the situation in Palestine, including into war crimes and crimes against humanity, comprising the crimes of apartheid, of population transfer, of appropriation and destruction of property, of pillage, of persecution, of willful killing, of murder and torture carried out on the Palestinian territory. As South Africa, we remain committed to ending impunity for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. The situation in Palestine should be prioritized by the ICC in order to deliver justice to the victims of these grave crimes. Our country is among the countries that made presentations from 19th to 26th February this year at the International Court of Justice public hearings, following the request for an advisory opinion in respect of the legal consequences arising from the policies and practices of Israel in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem. We made our presentation on the 20th of February this year, and in our presentation we told the court that Israel is responsible for apartheid against Palestinians, and its occupation is inherently and fundamentally illegal, and by implication, it is in violation of the Palestinian people's right to self-determination. It's encouraging for us to note that the majority of countries that are supporting the Palestinian cause hold a position that by transferring parts of its civilian population into the occupied territories, Israel violated Article 49.6 of the Fourth Geneva Convention, which prohibits occupying powers from deporting or transferring parts of their civilian population into the territory they occupy. It also prohibits the individual or mass forcible transfers, as well as deportations of protected persons from occupied territory. This, of course, reaffirms the International Court's advisory opinion on the West Bank wall. Now that the hearings have concluded, the judges will review all the arguments presented, including 57 written submissions, and will provide an advisory opinion in a few months. There must be, I repeat again, concerted international efforts to bring about a just solution to the question of Palestine. This will provide the Palestinian people with their right to self-determination and independent statehood, and also ultimately contribute to the establishment of peace in the region. There can never be peace if the Palestinian people are not free. So it's imperative for us to revitalize international action and seek avenues for justice. We must intensify the call for international action, with the UN playing a leading role to find a solution premised on a just settlement with just laws that are rights-based. We must, as the international community, seek a solution which facilitates equality and equity for all who have the right to live in the territories of Israel and Palestine. In the absence of these, we will not achieve the objectives we wish. Finally, the South African government will continue to act within the institutions of global governance to protect the rights, including the fundamental right to life, of Palestinians in Gaza, which continue to remain at risk, including from the continuing Israeli military assault, from starvation and disease. And we hope to work to obtain the fair and equal application of international law to all in the interests of our collective humanity. All of us as humanity should be ashamed today that 35,000 plus people have died, and here we are sitting while more are killed. Maybe if we could find a way, we should all go to Palestine and be the wall of protection of civilian people. As the government of South Africa, as well as the governing party, the African National Congress, we will continue to do everything within our power to preserve the existence of the Palestinian people as a group, to end all acts of apartheid and genocide against the Palestinian people, and to walk with them, if they wish, toward the realization of their collective right to self-determination. We will continue to do so, following in the steps of our great president and founding president of our democracy, President Nelson Mandela. And we will not rest as we follow his instruction that our freedom will not be complete until the freedom of the people of Palestine is realized. On behalf of President Ramaphosa, I thank you for listening to these remarks, and I wish you success in your deliberations.